Hi, this is singer Kate Eppers, and you're listening to Citywide Blackout.
I knew that I was different, it was hard fitting in. There's some things you can't see when you're lost inside your head. Like the sunrise in the morning, the stars when you go to bed. If you're gonna put a label on it, well, this is who I am. I'm a late bloomer, took me a little more time. A late bloomer.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Citywide Bytes. I hope you're all having a great weekend. I hope it's off to a good start. Hope you got some great plans for the day. For this episode, we're going to be talking with singer-songwriter Hayley Verrall. She has released some really amazing music. Actually, first came to our attention with the song Late Bloomer. She got a new single out called Peached Iced Tea, and we're going to be inviting her to join the chat in just a second here, and generally enjoying the music, and I hope you are all checking her stuff out too. And there we go. All right. Hayley, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So as I was talking earlier, you've got this new single just released, actually, just like a second ago, basically, called Peach Iced Tea. This is a great song. I'm really digging it. But tell me where the whole idea for it came from.
So I have a favorite drink. I actually have it right here. It's intentional.
Ha, nice.
It's called peach iced. It's peach iced tea, and I wanted to relate my favorite drink to a boy. So I decided to write a song about it, and I never had anyone that ever wanted to write it with me. So I've been to so many songwrites, and finally I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna write it myself.
Ah, nice, nice. I love that. It's like y'all don't want to help me out. Screw it, doing it myself.
Yep.
I love that. Okay. Where does Peach Iced Tea come into it though? Like, how does this kind of like factor like into the song, into the story behind it?
So peach iced tea for me, like a little bit of sour, a whole lot of sweet.
Yeah.
Like peaches in general can be a little bit sour, but they're also sweet, and a boy can also be like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
You can have that sour, sassy side,
yes,
but can also be a huge sweetheart, just like my boyfriend. It was basically written about my boyfriend.
That's awesome. I like that. And does he also enjoy a peach iced tea?
I would think so. He likes it. He's tried it before.
Okay,
and
good.
He likes his beers, his stouts.
Very good. I like it already. I like that. Okay. Now, you've been doing music since about 2018, from what I can see. That's how long you've been releasing music, at least.
Yes.
Your first single was Yo-Yo. I'm curious as to what got you into music in the first place. Kind of what like made you say, okay, I'm going to start putting it out there and playing shows and doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so the first release actually wasn't Yo-Yo.
Okay.
That one, for some reason, the DSP that I was using, the music distribution thing, messed it up. It was released with another person back in 2018 when they first released it.
Gotcha.
And I said this was a re-release, but they got it wrong. So it wasn't actually the first release. The very first release actually was called You Ain't Seen Trouble Yet, and it's not there anymore.
Oh.
Because I've grown...
This is great. I love it.
I've grown as a songwriter, and my sound, and the very first single that you'll see that was actually first released that's out there right now is Like You Mean It.
Oh, okay. All right. So now we got like the timeline in place here. So you ain't seen trouble yet, lost to the ages, I guess.
Yes.
But you mentioned growing as a musician, as a songwriter. How would you say you've changed since the first release?
More experience in life as you get older, and you experience more and do more, but meeting more people and meeting more songwriters and just co-writing. Because I started out just writing by myself, and I swore, I'm always going to write by myself. I'm going to be such a huge
big songwriter. And then I started co-writing back in 2020 when the pandemic hit, and I'm like, holy crap, I write a lot better with more people.
Right. Yeah. I've had the same experience doing this show. I find that having a co-host is just amazing. It's wonderful.
Yes, it's so much fun. You have something to bounce off of.
Exactly. Like you have someone to kind of like, call you out on the good ideas and the bad too. That kind of honesty is very helpful. When it comes to working with folks though, how do you know when it's a good working relationship?
Oh, when the ideas just flow right and then. Like I've had some songwrites where we're just sitting there and we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what to do. And the vibe isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
But then I've had songwrites where we literally written a song in like half an hour. Because it's just there.
There you go. Do you have a favorite co-writing partner?
Oh, I can't say any names.
Right, okay.
No, but I have tons of people I love writing with. And you'll see on the releases, if you look at the Spotify or wherever you're looking at for the song credits, you'll notice there's a trend of Matt Teed and Sean Moore on those releases.
Nice. They're are they your go-tos for like songwriting partners?
Most of the time, because Sean Moore is my producer and produced Late Bloomer, produced Peach Iced Tea that you just heard that just released yesterday, and so I'm always songwriting and trying to come up with as much music as possible. And I feel like Matt and Sean kind of know where my head's at and
cool
and what I want it to sound like and feel like.
All right, let's talk producers then, because I've learned that the right producer is just key for any song to come out right. Working with Sean Moore, how did that all come about?
So there's actually a Dave Woods shows that happen in Oakville at the Moonshine Cafe. So I'm Canadian for anyone that's watching, and I live in Burlington, and Oakville's only about a 15-minute drive, and there's a place called the Moonshine Cafe. It's like the Bluebird Cafe of Canada.
Oh, there you go.
If that makes any sense. And,
it does, yeah. I get you.
There's tons of songwriter nights, and I got the chance to meet Sean in person and from over Zoom, because during the pandemic, there was this huge songwriting circle thing that happened, and we all got in rooms with each other, and I met Sean and Matt in the same room at one point, and we never had met in person yet. And finally, when everything reopened, we met in person at the Moonshine Cafe where we were performing live, and the relationship just built from there.
Also, there's a place called Moonshine Cafe. I love it. I want to go there now just to like see it in person.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah. You mentioned a couple of times about like just sort of carry on during COVID. How is that for you? Like when everything just kind of stopped and it was pretty obvious that like, okay, we're not doing shows, we're not doing meetups. How to sort of like carry on with making music?
So for me, when the pandemic hit, my year was lined up. I had festivals, tons of shows, and all of a sudden that was all canceled. For the first few months, I didn't know what to do. I was sitting there. I didn't do anything. I wasn't on social media because I was really upset, and I didn't know what was going to happen, and I didn't know what to do. But then after realizing that we're going to have to figure out a new way to deal with this, and I'm going to have to make music at some point or do something with my music. So I just started to do live streams and focus more on my social media and building my audience. And then I finally found that there was co-writing going on over Zoom. So I started doing that near the end of the year. And from there on out, I hate to say it, but I'm kind of glad there was a slowdown, because I don't think I would have what I have now without that.
That's what I've seen a lot from other artists, whether they do music or comics or write books, is that the break was actually good for them. Like it did suck because, of course, you had so much lined up. I remember speaking to a writer who had his book release all lined up. It was about 200 people there and gone, just all canceled.
Yep.
But people, they had the time to kind of sit and say, okay, just sit with this thing for a bit. And then they were making music at home. They were building their own home studios. They were doing online book releases. So it was nice to see that just that passion sort of carry them forward when so much was just not an option.
And what was so helpful was that everybody was struggling.
Mm.
It wasn't just you.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was going through something, and that's kind of what helped, knowing that, you know what, this isn't just me, it's everyone. We're all in the same boat. We're all starting kind of from the bottom.
Exactly. All right, I want to ask about your style because listening to your past music, you've definitely ranged. For example, Late Bloomer was more of a ballad. It was very powerful. Peach Iced Tea, more like upbeat, happy. Do you feel like you're still sort of like just experimenting when it comes to your sound?
Yeah, so when I released music and my sound, I actually started out putting out like classical, like more traditional country.
Mm-hmm.
But I found that didn't work here in Canada. The Canadian radio here is more pop country based.
Mm,
And Dance Around It, for example, that one is what really landed me into the pop country space, and got me on Sirius XM, some radio stations, and I actually found a love for it. I liked the dancing vibe. And so when I released Peach Iced Tea, I want it to be a drinking song, but not a drinking song at the same time, because it's non-alcoholic,
yeah, exactly.
but it's a song that you can relate to a boy, but also that you can just like dance in a club or
Mm-hmm.
on a beach, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
So that's my sound. I love writing to write,
mm-hmm.
and even if it might sound a little bit older, like more traditional or newer, for example, like Peach Iced Tea, or even slower, I put out music that really connects with me and tells a story about me.
What kinds of past stories about yourself have you told with your music?
So Late Bloomer, for example, that story itself is, I was always bullied when I was younger because I didn't fit in. I was different than everyone else. I was smaller. Um, I looked different, and I was always told by my doctors, "Oh, this is normal. You're just a late bloomer," and all this stuff. And I was like, you know what? I keep hearing this word "late bloomer" going on, and I want to write about it. So I decided the very first version that I wrote by myself was very, very dark. So it's nothing like what it is today. But I took it into a write with Aaron Allen, who's amazing, and I said, "Can you help me with this? Can you fix this?" Because I wanted to relate to more people than just myself, because it was very specific
Mm-hmm.
and just very dark, and I kind of wanted it to be a little bit happier.
Okay. All right. Do you think you've kind of settled in terms of like how you're sounding right now, or is it still kind of a we're gonna check like more things out, experiment some more down the road?
I definitely think I want to try some more stuff out down the road, because my boyfriend himself, he likes funk fusion,
Ooh.
blues, and my when I do my country stuff with my band, we do a little bit more country rock sounding. So I'm definitely down to experiment, and you're gonna see from my next releases, which I I'll talk about another time as well. But
Okay,
you'll
gotcha.
see they're experimenting in a little bit of different ranges, and this one in particular is like Peach Iced Tea is so different from what you've heard. Besides Dance Around It, like Slow Motion, I guess that's Love, and Late Bloomer. This one's like dance pop, adult
Mm,
contemporary sounding.
all right. It definitely sounds like you've got a good sense of what kind of like plays well out there. You know, like you talked about the country not being maybe the best fit, more of like a pop country feel. Do you really keep track of like when it comes to like releasing music, like oh, like okay, is this going to play well with what's out there right now?
I am always listening to music,
Mm-hmm.
and because I really enjoy it. Um, I'm a lyrics person, and I always love when I can close my eyes and just imagine what's going on. And I definitely feel that I've listened to a lot of Sirius XM,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing what's being played, what the story is, and what the sound is, and it's so helpful when I have a producer that's doing the same thing.
Ah, excellent. All right. I love to ask about music scenes where our guests are because they're from all over the place. So, in your neck of the woods, any particular venues that you love to go to, either to perform or to just see shows at?
Yeah, I love, again, the Moonshine Cafe is so great because it's a place where people are there sitting there and just listening,
Mm,
and it's about original music. for independent artists. So I have to say that is my top one place to go. And if you haven't been, you should definitely go. It's
Road
in
trip. We're
Oakville.
going.
And there's always things going on. And then it's just festivals and fairs. I just love being there with the vibe. And I've got some new fairs that we're doing this year, and we're excited.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Looking at your website, I saw that you have either been the recipient or nominated for a ton of awards, like tons and tons of awards. Too many to list in this episode. But as a musician, does receiving all those accolades make you just like think a lot about like what you're doing, because now you've gotten all these maybe like validations of what you do?
It's nice, and I really enjoy it, and it motivates me to keep going. Um, but I'm a songwriter, and I'm a performer, and I just love performing. I have a program called Singing for Smiles, where I go to different retirement homes and nursing homes, and I sing classic country, and seeing the faces and people singing along, I just know this is what I love doing, and this is what I have to do. So even if awards can come along the way, but just knowing the impact that I have on people's lives just makes it worth it for me.
Although it is nice to be able to say multi-award winning singer-songwriter.
Yes,
It's good for the business cards.
It's good for the bio.
Exactly. Now, you had mentioned Singing for Smiles, and I had read into this. I love the concept about this. So, as I understand, this got started when you used to sing for your grandmother, and then it kind of went from there. You decided to start like a program to sing for seniors. But tell me how you decided to take it from just something with the family to your own thing.
Yeah, so in my last year of college, we had a project, a final year project that we had to do. And everyone was releasing singles, doing an album. And I was like, you know what? I want to be different. And I want to do something that's going to help my career in the long run. And I had this story and this experience from years back of my dad's side, my grandma suffering from a stroke that paralyzed her, and being able to sing to her and play my guitar and seeing the joy and how she actually got better for a little bit before she sadly passed away. But I just knew that was my purpose, was to do music. And I decided, you know what, for my last year of college, I want to do something different. And that's when I decided I want to sing for seniors and make them smile, just like I did for my grandma, and seeing what happened, right? So I made a program called Singing for Smiles, and it's still going. This is my main source of income, and it's like I think I have a show in like a week again for Singing for Smiles. So it's been, I think, 6 years of doing this.
Wow. That is a wonderful concept. I really like that. I really do. Have you been just sticking to the nursing homes in your area, or have you had the chance to kind of like travel around to like?
Yeah, I've traveled around. Yeah, I go. There's been times I've gone an hour drive to some shows, and it's worth it for me because I just love it. I have this story from a nursing home that I went to that I sang. It was a Christmas, and my final song was Feliz Navidad. And this old man that hadn't talked in a year started singing along.
Wow.
And the staff were crying because they hadn't heard this man's voice in a year. And stories like that of just impacting, that's why I do what I do.
That is beautiful. That is amazing. Wow. All right. Well, Haley, we are coming down to the end of this conversation. The big question, though, what's next for you?
Well, I'm releasing more music in the future. I've got tons of more shows. I got my band lining up. We've got tons of rehearsals we're doing, and we're getting ready for the festival season, which has already started for the summer. But we're also getting ready for the fall festival season.
Yes.
And that's really it. And just songwriting, constantly writing, releasing, and just getting ready.
I love it. All right, folks. Well, you heard it here. Now go check out her music. You can go to Hayley Verrall Music. I'll spell it for you. HAYLEYVERRALL music.com. It's all there. Of course, follow her socials right here. Follow her on Spotify. Check out her music. Definitely listen to Peach Iced Tea. It's just been released like a day or two ago. It's just out there. Check it out. It's a great song. And you know what? If you work at a senior center or know someone who does, reach out to Hayley, get her booked because she'll do an absolutely amazing job. And Hayley, thanks again for joining me. I appreciate it. And looking forward to the next time we talk.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me. And I appreciate each and every single one of you that tuned in. And make sure to stream Peach Iced Tea because that's my favorite one I've released so far. It's intentional, I swear.
I love it. I love it. Well, folks, thank you all for tuning in, for watching this show. Certainly follow our socials. And if you want to be on the show, reach out to me at citywidemax@yahoo.com. And we will see you all next time. And with that, we bring this episode to a close. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, check us out on Facebook under Citywide Blackout, and Twitter and Instagram under Citywide Max. You can catch this and all your favorite episodes on your favorite podcast platform, and new episodes are added every week, as well as on Boston Free Radio every Saturday at 10 p.m. You get at me at citywidemax@yahoo.com if you want to suggest a guest, submit your music, or just drop us a line. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
I was scrolling through my phone, feeling blue. Needed some company to get me through. I swiped right and I saw your face. Well, I knew right then after the first date that you're the perfect blend of everything I need. A little bit of sour and a whole lot of sweet. I'm addicted to your love and I can't get enough. Nothing tastes better than the homemade stuff. 'Cause you remind me of peach iced tea. Peach iced tea. We sat on the pier watching the sun go down. Talked about our dreams and getting out of this town. Love like this is too good to be, but I knew deep down you were meant for me. Yeah, you're the perfect blend of everything I need. A little bit of sour and a whole lot of sweet. I'm addicted to your love and I can't get enough. Nothing tastes better than the homemade stuff. 'Cause you remind me of peach iced tea. Peach iced tea. The moment you came into my life, I knew you were my bubbly paradise. You're the perfect blend of everything I need. A little bit of sour and a whole lot of sweet. I'm addicted to your love and I can't get enough. Nothing tastes better